everyone, Emily here, and welcome to my new kitchen. You might have noticed I have moved. I took a couple weeks off to get that move done and get all settled in, and now I'm ready to get back to things. I'm gonna kick things off with a recipe that I found online. So I was scrolling through Instagram Reels, and I'll pop the recipe up right here. This is from the creator Jen Eats Good, and it definitely does look good. It's a super delicious looking quinoa salad, and I love quinoa salads. And this one seems to be a little bit Thai inspired. It has a peanut sauce and a ton of fresh vegetables. So I'm gonna give this a try and see how it turns out. Let's get started. I'm gonna get started by preparing the base of this salad, which is quinoa. Now this is 1 cup of quinoa cooked according to the package directions. And I'm just going to spread this out on a baking sheet. The recipe does note that you can use vegetable broth or whatever broth you prefer with this, and so I did cook this with a little bit of vegetable broth instead of just plain water. Going to give this a drizzle of olive oil and season that up with a little bit of salt and some pepper. I'll toss this around and kind of coat everything, and then I'm gonna toss this in the oven and bake it for about 20 minutes. And I'm really curious to see what this does to the texture of the quinoa. I think it's gonna make it a little bit crunchy. I have never had it like this, so hopefully it's a really good addition to the salad. I double checked the recipe and I was a little off on the time. This is actually gonna go in the oven for about 30 minutes. So definitely seems like it's gonna brown up and get a little bit crispy, but while this bakes, I'm gonna work on all my vegetables and putting together the dressing. So I'm gonna start by peeling and shredding up about 3 large carrots. It says you need 1 1/4 cup of shredded carrots. You could definitely use the pre-shredded carrots. I just happen to have some carrots in my fridge, so this is what I'm going to use. And then I'll just give these a shred with my cheese grater. And of course, Jax loves the carrot tops. Oh! Oh! And now that I have this all grated up, I'm just going to add it right into my salad bowl. Next, I'm going to cut up 1 English cucumber. I'm just going to slice that lengthwise right down the middle and then give those some slices across. Add that right into my bowl as well, along with 1 pound of shelled edamame. I just got this out of the freezer section and let that thaw out. You can also thaw this out in the microwave. Last couple of things to chop are a few green onions. I'm just going to slice up both the white portion and about halfway up the green parts. And then finally, I'm going to toss in a good amount of cilantro. Just give that a nice chop. I'll add that right into my salad bowl. At this point, I'm about halfway through baking my quinoa, so I'm just gonna take that out and give it a little bit of a toss. Definitely seems like some of this is starting to crisp up just a little bit, so maybe it has just a bit of a crunchier texture in the salad. And I'll just pop this back in for the remaining 15 to 20 minutes. While the quinoa finishes baking, I'm going to make my peanut dressing. So I'm going to add in 1/3 cup of peanut butter. I'm using chunky peanut butter because it's just what I prefer. Add that right into a small bowl. To that, I'm going to add in 1/4 cup of sesame oil, about a tablespoon of ginger, tablespoon of rice vinegar, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. This recipe calls for coconut aminos, but I couldn't find them at my grocery store today, and it has the same exact flavor pretty much as soy sauce. I'm going to add in a little bit of sriracha so that it can be just a bit on the spicier side, and about a teaspoon of garlic powder. The last thing to add was maple syrup, and I thought I had some at home, but I can't find it anywhere, so I'm just gonna add in a little bit of brown sugar. Not too much, just enough to give it a bit of sweetness. And I'll go ahead and give this a nice mix together. This is all set, and once my quinoa comes out of the oven, we're gonna toss this all together and give our salad a try. The quinoa just came out of the oven, and it is still pretty steaming hot, so I'm gonna toss this around and let it cool for just a few minutes so that it's just warm instead of so hot before I put it into the salad, because I don't want it to really wilt those vegetables up, especially the cilantro. The quinoa has had a chance to cool off, so I'm just gonna go ahead and add that right into my salad bowl. And then on top of that, just pour in my dressing. Then I will just gently mix this all together until we have a good combination with our quinoa, vegetables, and of course, our salad dressing. And then just for a little bit of a garnish, I'm going to add on a little bit more cilantro right over the top. And this looks absolutely fantastic. I can't wait to give this a try. I'm going to serve a little bit of this up and see how it came out. I think it's gonna be really good. Okay, I'll get a little bit of everything in this bite and give it a try. This is so good. This actually reminds me a lot of the spring roll salad that I made last summer. The main difference is just that you use quinoa instead of rice noodles. There are a couple of other little differences as well, but this is absolutely fantastic. Great recipe, and I'm definitely gonna be making this again. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, don't forget to hit subscribe and the bell icon so you can get notified every time I post. As always, you can find the full recipe to this in the description box down below, and I'll also go ahead and link to the page of the original creator where I found this recipe on Instagram. As always, you can leave a suggestion down in the comments section below if you have an idea for the next recipe that I should try, and off to the side, I'll go ahead and link some more recipes that I found online if you're interested in continuing to watch. Hope to see you back here next time.